Before my son was shot, I was rather complacent on this issue. But I learned the hard way that I can't just sit on the sidelines anymore.
Paul Kramer is the citizen sponsor of Initiative 1639. His son Will was shot and wounded in the Mukilteo shooting tragedy of 2016.
Will was lucky enough to survive, but 3 of his friends were not. I've witnessed and shared in their parents' extreme grief from the loss of their children.
The convicted gunman, a 19-year-old who had just purchased a semi-automatic rifle. Supporters of I-1639 say this new measure could have blocked that sale. The initiative proposes to raise the age of purchase of a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21 and would require an enhanced background check and waiting period similar to what's currently required for handguns in the state.
We're asking that it should be at least as hard to purchase a semi-automatic assault rifle as it is to purchase a handgun.
The Alliance for Gun Responsibility says supporters gathered more than 375,000 signatures to put their latest measure on the November ballot. In addition to changes it would make to the purchase of semi-automatic rifles, the initiative would also create new standards for safe storage of firearms.
If you read this, you wouldn't know what the new code is, what the current law is, or what's being taken away from the old law, what's being added to it.
Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Second Amendment Foundation, has already filed one legal challenge and plans on filing another one as early as next week over how the campaign petition appeared during the signature gathering process.
The voters don't even know what it does or what it says because it's so intense and covers so many subjects. Aside from the fact that I'm really appalled by the fact that it's denying the Second Amendment constitutional rights to 18 to 20-year-olds. These are people in many cases go off and fight in our military and protect our rights and our freedoms. Now you're taking it away from them.
Gottlieb predicts a contentious election cycle with high turnout across both sides of the gun reform debate, but he's promising a legal fight first. The Alliance for Gun Responsibility calls the court challenge an unnecessary and unfortunate distraction. A spokesman says it's not surprising and adds that the Alliance is prepared to answer any challenge. Ultimately, this initiative issue could be back before a judge in coming weeks. I'm Natalie Brand, King 5 News.